Hello and welcome to the team show. Thursday, 16th of May, 2024, ahead of round 10 against the Swans. Amazing to be here. Very exciting to be here. It's been a very interesting 24 hours, hasn't it? We're going to get through all sorts of things. The Michael Voss press conference just dropped. I haven't watched it yet, so we can watch that together. We'll talk about injuries because we always talk about injuries. And then teams will come out 6:20. Just hang out, do a bit of Q&A, and just get ready for a big game tomorrow. Who is here? Who have we got? Kobe was first. Hello, Kobe. Good to have you here, mate. Go Blues 9. Hello. Is that your reaction to the injuries? Is that why your username is like that? Hello, Kate. Smigoff says, Alicia. Hello, Jay. Lemon Pop. Let's not be scared of injuries. Yeah, I know. We're a bit fragile. Do we still think we can't win the game? Christian. Jai. Damien. Faz. Turfspiracy. Mate, you're just chipping away. You're making a believer. You're making a believer out of me. Hey, Luca. Mia. Good to see you, mate. Bugs Bell. Hello. Hey, Ryan and Melissa. Brian Ambrose McMahon. Alana's here. Sheezy. It hangs good, mate. It hangs very good. Peter V. Diana from Radelaide. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Elliot. Aaron Dirks. Anyone know how I can donate my soft tissues and various muscles so our players can have a fair run? Oh, dear. What up, sis? How you doing? Robbie, I also love the team show. Yeah. I think right now the ratings is getting a good run. The ratings is one of my favorite shows. I'm really enjoying that. But teams is good. It's the build-up. I have a feeling tonight it's going to be a bit spicy. Danny, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam, brother. Good to have you here. Okay. Hey, Julie, Julius, Jared. Wow, there's a lot of people. A lot of you come in early now. This is great. Alicia, Vincent. Unbranded, Justin. All right. There's 100 of you here. Hello. Good to have you here. We are proudly brought to you by Mr. Cabinets. So thank you to Derek for your support. What we're going to do first up is we are going to watch the press conference, the Michael Voss press conference. I'm going to share my screen in a minute and we can unpack it and go from there, get a bit of an insight as to what we can expect. Let's have a look.
Well, Michael, so up here, huge challenge against the Swans. Where do you see their most dangerous areas are?
They've got a bit going for them at the moment. There's a fair bit of green on their page right now. Clearly, they're getting a lot of drive from their midfield right now. They're batting pretty deep through that part of the ground. So, look, provide plenty of threats. We sort of still feel like there's a method there for us to be able to get after, and we can hopefully pose a couple of questions back the other way. And we've had some good representation around midfield ourselves, and we'll sort of probably have to get a few extra around the ball as well to be able to help us with that and being able to keep intensity on the ball. So, but when you're playing against a team who's on top of the ladder, there's clearly a lot of green on that page.
You hung on last week just after having that big lead. Have you spoken about trying to close out games a little bit better?
You guys can hear that question, right? Because it sounds like you can hear them better than usual. Just let me know if you need me to repeat the question.
No, not really. We've been fortunate or unfortunate, depending on which way you look at it, that we've played in a lot of close games. So we've had a lot of conversations around what that looks like for us. And all we ever really refer to is just, when you have your moment, do you step up in that moment? And we have plenty of those that we've learnt from in the past. And some great examples where we've been able to put some of the most recent of learnings into action. And so that was the reason why we got over the line in the end. For me, this game was about being able to put all the phases of our game together, and in trying conditions against a very good opponent, we did that very well.
Jack Martin had another blow. Just how serious is he? Can you give us an update on
No, it's only minor, but we sort of have to respect Jack's history a little bit as well. So that'd be taken into consideration in terms of what his return to play looks like. Obviously, it's only fairly new, so we'll have to take the time to assess that and just make sure that we're accurate on what the return play looks like for him. And it's somewhat unfortunate. He's a very important player to us, and will figure prominently for us, when he returns. But obviously, there's a group out here that need to be able to get the job done tomorrow.
A number of soft tissue injuries now. Is that something that's concerning for you that you're looking into why that's happening?
Oh, it's been a challenge. It has been a challenge, but it's not something that we've just looked at, just recently. It's been something we've been, trying to address for a little period of time, and it's a fairly complex sort of answer. But, we look at the problem, we try and solve the problem together, and we try and that's the way that we try to attack it. And we feel like we've made some ground in some areas, and there's still obviously some things we need to get after.
Is there pressure building in any way to find an answer? Like, do you feel that?
Well, not really. I mean, obviously, at the moment, I want any of them to happen. So every one you get's a little disappointing, but at the same time, we try to treat it exactly the same way. We have to look at the reasons why it's happened, and we have to try and put some things in place to obviously stop it happening. But, that'll be an important conversation for us to be able to have over the coming weeks. For us right now, it's about what we've got in front of us. And as you said earlier, presented the challenge to us, and that's the challenge in front of us tomorrow.
Someone said too, without the injuries, you guys would be favourites or just about up there for the flag. Is that how you feel too? The injuries are the only thing that might stop you from going all the way?
Would have, could have. Seasons has challenges right throughout the year, and ours has been pretty clear on what that's actually looked like. And every team is trying to get cohesion, and every team will have their challenge, but that's part of their story. And if that's part of the story that we need to be able to lean into, and part of it's not just about what's not there, but it's more about who is there, and that's what we've tended to focus on. And nothing changes from our expectations in that regard. When we turn up tomorrow, we expect to play a certain way. When they put the Carlton jumper on, there's a certain level of effort that we require. And
that's an elite quote right there. I want to play that again.
When they put the Carlton jumper on, there's a certain level of effort that we require. And
when's the last time you heard a coach say that?
The players are pretty clear on that, and they've all got a role to play in it.
Is looking at training loads one way of maybe trying to reduce those injuries?
Too simplistic a view. Yeah, that's too simplistic a view. And as I said, it's got some complexity around it. It's hard to give a real simplistic answer to it all. But look, we'll dive into it, and we'll get after it as hard as we possibly can, because obviously we share the same interests, and that's to have everyone out there.
There's a bit of noise yesterday at Jacob Wheeling getting offered a big deal. Are you confident to be able to keep him?
I am. I'm very, very confident. I don't think we sort of spend a hell of a lot of time in speculation, to be honest. Where he's a very important player to us. We don't tend to speak a lot around contracts and where players' contract status is at. We deal with that privately. We deal that with the management group. And we deal that with the players. And I'm sure at the right time, we'll see him in the Carlton jumper for a very, very long time.
You obviously love to keep him.
Clearly.
And just the big occasion here is we pretty much just sell out. How do you sort of handle that occasion? Ladder leaders going to come in full of form with the home crowd behind. How do you get your team up for that?
It's pretty simple. There's one unique thing that we have, and I've spoken about probably almost every week, is the games that we are afforded to play in. We are really privileged, and being part of Carlton and the supporter base that we've got, we're really fortunate that every state we go to, we've got supporters that come and watch us, and so we are used to playing in front of big crowds. We'd like to think that we can adapt, if it's a little bit hostile at any stage. We're playing against a really good opposition that deserves an enormous amount of respect. But at the same time, we come in really confident with what we've been able to put on the table over the course of the last month.
Obviously, the Margaret game on tomorrow night. Played in this game last year. But it's fair to say that a lot's changed for both these teams in the last 12 months. I guess, what do you take from that night, and looking forward to the occasion of this?
That's Christian. That's a Carlton media question.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, clearly it's Indigenous round, and Zachy's obviously got sort of special significance for him, and obviously with his cousin designing the jumper, and So, Zach will spend a bit of time here today being able to talk about his story and his journey and how much it means to him. And, it's a fantastic opportunity for us as a club to be able to sort of get to know one of our people and, his own story and the importance of it is to his culture. And, we're trying to establish a really strong culture here and we have our own story behind it. But when we can sort of tap into an individual player's story and what it means to them and be able to understand his culture and his family, it's obviously a unique opportunity.
Love the game so much that you're in the design right now.
I am, yeah. So I've decided to get the hat and obviously wear the jumper at the same time. So I think it's a fantastic design, but I'm clearly obviously very biased.
What did you think? What did you all think about that? I wouldn't put it past us. I still back us in to win. I think we can win. I don't think it's a game that we can't win. Jack Martin's a loss, but I don't think we can just write it off already. Where's the brick wall? He's got that effect, doesn't he? Michael Ross, I think it's more than training load. Back in the depth and slowly bring back soft tissues with minutes in the twos. Yeah, I liked his. I mean, a lot of people will talk about the training loads and manage the loads. I actually spoke to a club CEO recently and asked about it and was told around the realities of training during the week. And the reality especially with us this week, for example, training session, you get 1, maybe 2 training sessions in and the rest of it's just recovery. That training session I went to on Sunday, that wasn't a very intense session. And we lost a player taking a specky on the marking bag. So, yeah. Lucinda, pros and cons of a Moya selection. Say he's selected starting 22, not the sub. Once the initial being over 1 passes, we don't expect much from him. But imagine if he got his first AFL goal. Yeah, potentially. Dione, hello. Love our coach. So strong and balanced in his message. He's better this year than last year too, just like our club. Yeah, he definitely has a different aura about how he speaks. There's a different confidence. Yeah, no bullshit. That's my thing too. I mean, the last thing I think, the worst thing that could possibly happen is if the panic that we're seeing from the fan base seeps into the playing list, we're fucked. Absolutely, like it's a big problem. So I'm hoping that doesn't reflect on them. I'm hoping it doesn't seep into the crowd tomorrow night. I hope we don't get moans and groans all night because everyone's just, resigned to the fact that we're going to lose the game because we've got injuries. I'm hoping that's not the case. I don't know. Danielle, not sure we can play the blame game when we don't have all the info. Yeah. Yeah. Also, decisions, they'll just be made at the end. That's the truth. Alexi does. My Mr. Cabinet selection of the week is Jackson Binns in. Yeah. Surely this is it. Yeah. Do you think this is the way we play our footy? It's very laborious. This is an interesting topic. I would say, do you remember 2021? I would say our biggest criticism I know mine was, and I was pretty angry about it, was our lack of application for long enough. If you had told me back then that we would play this style of football now, this brutal style of football now, I would beg you for it. I would say we didn't work hard enough back then. And I would say we work hard now. And I just think we play a laborious game style, but what's the alternative? Is there an easy game style to play to win a flag with the players that we have? So, yeah. I like the way we play. I get a lot of confidence from the way we play right now. Bugs Bell, Stephen Silvani is a legend of Carlton, but seriously, this guy continues to undermine the Blues. What is his effing problem? I'm assuming you're talking about the contract offer to Jacob Wiedering. The Wiedering offer. I mean, that's his job, isn't it? It's his job. At least someone in the AFL is doing it. Do you remember when Nick Dacos was drafted to Collingwood? No one really made Collingwood bid for that. And I think we were the only club that made Freo match the bid for Liam Henry from memory, something like that. Yeah. Alicia, did you guys want any info from the training of who was there? Sure. If you were at training today, that'd be fantastic. I'm assuming you were there, Alicia. If so, please let us know. Calamari, next man up, has rounded out our team perfectly. Well, yeah. We found some hidden gems because of next man up. We found Chincotta. We found Boyd. We found Fogarty. I think we saw more of Kemp than what we would have. Who else would you say, guys? Who else would you say we have seen on the list who we're now confident is going to be a required player in the squad who we wouldn't have seen otherwise? I've just mentioned a few. Are there any others on the list who, if it weren't for injuries and therefore the opportunities coming, we wouldn't know who they are? We had a tail run of injuries and our undefeated streak at the end of last year. Next man up. Yeah, no doubt. Robbie Varley, thank you, mate. $14.99. Appreciate your support. Nicholas de Pasquale, Fantasia will be back in. Yeah, let's talk about that too. Let's talk about that too. Davey, Terry, Arsenal suck. I mean, they do. They do suck. Well, they don't. It's just that City are better. Yeah, okay. So Chincotta, Fogg, Motlop was in early due to injury. Yeah, I think Motlop would eventually have cracked in, but definitely maybe early. Kemp and McGovern playing down back. Okay. Yeah, Damien, good point. There was a time where we were saying that Fogarty may not make it because he just kept having the injuries. Yeah, we said Chincotta. We said Boyd. Joshua, turning your mood while talking to Ari. Yeah, I really don't like that came out live. But it's a natural reaction, and we all feel it. I will say this: I don't know why we feel the need to publish words online. I had a look on Twitter at the Carlton Football Club post that Jack Martin won't be playing and will miss his 150th. 128 comments. Not one of the 128 said get well soon, Jack. Not one. So I have a question. Do you think that what you write on social media does not get seen? Sorry, do you think what you write on social media gets seen by the players? Yes or no? I'd be very interested to know what you think about that. Do you think the players see what is written? Maybe I should put a poll. Some of you think it does. Some of you think it doesn't. So whether they see it themselves, whether their friends or family see it and share it to them, it's actually a rhetorical question. I know the answer. The answer is yes, they do. For sure they do. If they're not looking at it directly, their friends, family are sharing it. So my next question is, if you know that they are seeing it, like Jack Martin, for example, he would have, surely he turns his phone off today. He just doesn't even look. I don't know why we lose that sight of that. And then we want them to go out and play for the fans. Yeah. I just think it's, and I've been guilty of it in the past too. It's why I don't type as much anymore. My feelings. That's why I come on video. talk about it live. But I just think surely we understand that what is written seeps in, it gets seen. So I feel like some of us need to just think about that. Social media has become a place where people type and talk before they think, as opposed to think before they talk. And I think that's a big problem. And do you blame social media for that? Or do you blame each individual for that? Some of the shit I saw today, like delist Jack Martin. Today? Now? I don't know. Yeah, it does come from a good place, but the road to hell was paved with good intentions, It's very frustrating. I was frustrated yesterday too. You saw it live. Super frustrated. But to call for like the listings and the like now, it's just, I feel like it's a conversation you got to have at the end of the year. Like, why didn't we sack Russell after the prelim? Why didn't we get up in arms about it then? Why wasn't the rhetoric, oh, we've made a prelim, we're one game out of a granny, let's sack Russell? Why didn't that come up then? Why is it coming up now? Why is it coming up in round 10 when we can't do anything about it? Isn't it just noise? Doesn't that make it just noise? For the record, I think we have to ask questions of the department. I agree. But the decision gets made end of year, no? Like, it gets made end of year, you would then bring someone in, because you've got to build a program in the preseason, because the preseason is the main mechanism in which you do the injury prevention. During the season, it's very hard to do that. You just kind of got to survive, because you got 7-day breaks, 6-day breaks, 5-day breaks. You just got to get through the next game. You're sore, you're injured, you're recovering. So your preseason is where your program gets put in place. So why wasn't all of this sacking talk done after the prelim? I want to understand. I need to understand. When it can actually be done. So anyway, we've spent way too much time talking about it. Let's get back to the game. It is 8 minutes to 6. We've got just over 20 minutes until the teams come out. Who are your predicted changes? What are your predicted changes? So we know that Chera won't play. We know that Jack Martin won't play. We don't know about Mark Pitternet. We're not sure yet. So what do you guys think will happen in the teams tonight? Ins and outs. Jared, Binns and Marchbank. So Binns and Marchbank for Chera and Martin. Is that the... Hey sis, using frustration as an excuse is a cop-out. What happened to people self-regulating their frustration? Making outlandish comments about players should not be excused because people are frustrated. Preach, sis. Preach. Hyde, Orazio, Pitto, and Binns in. Well, Pitto's in. Pitto's already in the team. Pitto passed. Has that been confirmed? I haven't seen that. But hopefully that's true. Marchbank and Binns. I'd love to see Binns. I think this is that opportunity for Binns to play in that cultural role. Wing, half forward, hopefully jag a goal. It's coming off 42 possessions. So, he'd be full of confidence more than anything. Yeah. Alicia, Cowan was there today, so I have a feeling he'll stay. Was Marchbank there with the team? I haven't. Maybe I've missed one of your previous comments, but who else was there of note? Peter will play. Fantasia. Interesting that Fantasia played in the midfield last week in the VFL. Not so much as a forward. Joseph, hey mate. Carroll in for Chera. Binns in for Cottrell. What about for Martin? So Carroll for Chera, Binns for Cottrell. What are you doing with Jack Martin? Or is that just an elevation of Hewitt? Hewitt was the sub last week. So I'm going to assume that we're elevating him. Hey, Elise, George for Chera, Fantasia, Carroll, and Williams in. Nice. Very good. Binns, Marchbank, Carroll, Smokey, Billy Wilson. Billy Wilson. Anybody else that was at training? Were there players there at training today of note, like guys that we haven't seen before? For example, Billy Wilson. Was Marchbank there today? Please let us know. Zach Williams. Well, he should be available. I think with all the media coverage they're doing around him, I would think that he's going to be available. Pito was at training today. Great news. Moya for Martin. Is he ready? Is the young man ready to play? It's the big question. Danny, outlandish comments are a no-no. Show frustration, but don't target a player. Yeah. If Williams passed the fitness test, I think he'll play. Yeah, I think he'll play. I think he'll be fresh. Ollie Hollands was fresh last week after a week off. I think the same thing will happen with Zach. Yeah. They play everyone in the midfield. Chincotta even played there winning the VFL. Yeah. Vossi mentioned they're going to put a few extra numbers or something at stoppages. So, I mean, that might be something we can do with a Zach Williams just to change it up. Danielle, apparently Marchbank and Binns were at Captain's Run. Pito there too. Maybe I'm lagging behind. I haven't seen Alicia or anyone else that was. Oh, yeah, she's here. I did a big list, but main ones. Binns, Orazio, Young, Carroll, Marchbank, all there. Okay, sorry, I must have missed it. That's interesting. So Binns, Orazio, Young, Carroll, Marchbank. Wow. The J-Man. I live on the Central Coast. Myself and the wife are going to the game. I'm a Blue. She's a Swan supporter. I haven't been to a game in 3 years. I'm excited as it's my birthday on Monday. Well, firstly, happy birthday for Monday. How exciting. Awesome. Thank you, Danielle. Binns and Wilson coming in. Doesn't seem like Wilson was there. So see how that goes. Metab Sandhu, Met Sadi at Uni Hill DFO. Looks good for next week, raring to go. That's an inside scoop. I haven't been to Uni Hill in years. That's brought back childhood memories. I think I got my L's from the Vic Rose right nearby. There you go. Dione, how good is the Indigenous gear the club has this year? Yeah, what did you guys think? I loved it. I thought we added a bit of light blue in the last few years. I've still got my Indigenous scarf here. I think this is the best scarf they've brought out. I do like this year's scarf, but I think this is the best one so far. But big fan of the Guernsey this year, especially that they've kept the navy blue. I think that's important. Stephen B. Marchbank really needs to step up his performance. He looks lost. Do you mean from the VFL? Thought he was one of our best in the VFL last week, personally. Yeah. Louis the Fly. Who do I think is the most suited for Martin? I don't think we have anyone that's suited to replace him. My personal guesses for the ins would be Hewitt comes up. Williams will come in. Binns will come in. That's it. I think those are the three. Oh, I would play Marchbank over Cowan because of the experience factor. Yeah. Don't know what happened there. Derek D. Hello, Mr. Cabinets. How you doing? Good to have you here. It's the Gypsy. Got to be the Gypsy King. Yeah, I'll never back against the Gypsy King. Although Usyk is good, but I'm a Gypsy King fan. Yeah. "26 at training." So all 3 emergencies. Okay. It's good to know. Cottrell's the main man. We need to find someone to replace. We have proven we can win games without Chera and Martin. Cottrell is the one. Yeah, it's true. Does play an underrated role. I do wonder if that's going to impact how we use. Well, I mean, my best guess right now is you just put in Binns. Binns is not Cottrell. He's going to be a second gamer, pretty much first game. We didn't play much in that Geelong game. But it would be good to see him play there. I don't know if that impacts Ollie Hollands' role. We'll see. But Cottrell's a really tough one because he does a lot of unrewarded running. The J-Man. Hewitt needs to play, in my opinion. Play Marchbank as well. Bin seems a little lost, but time will tell. Yeah. I reckon we can bring in Plowman, Gibbons, Fish, and maybe Ramsey for a smoky.
Bruh. 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 Bruh.
Hilarious. Josh Lofts. Look, Binns probably gets a game, but as fans, we can't expect those VFL numbers. He's getting in his first full game. Should he play? Yeah. Yeah, definitely got to temper the expectations. Lucinda, hello. How long till the teams get in? Just heading back to the kitchen. 18 minutes. We have 18 minutes to go. What other questions are on your mind as we head into round 10? Oh, the fixture. That's right. What did you guys make of the fixture? The second half of the season, rounds 16 to 23. I never asked the other day. What did you make of the 7 games? Anything that stood out to you specifically? My only thing about it was the 5-day break, and it looks like we are going to be playing Port Adelaide twice this year, on both occasions, off a 5-day break. They're just brutal, and especially with us, an injury-plagued team, 5-day breaks are killer. But I think overall, I saw the last few games. Have I got a photo of it here? I don't think I do. Yeah, I do. 1 minute. Fanjong. Yeah, I've got it here. Round 21, 22, 23. 21 to 22 is, what's that? That's an 8-day break, followed by a 7-day break, followed by I'm not sure what the date of round 24 is, but I do think that's an important factor. No doubt about that. So what did you think? Run home is great. Top 4 is a solid expectation. Mate, if we make top 4, yeah. We make top 4 with now it looks like we're going to be enduring, be a mighty effort. And that's the other part as well. Did we not expect there to be challenges of some sort? Isn't that what footy kind of brings you? Whether it's form. Last year it was form and injury. Confidence. This year, right now, it looks like injury. I thought we had gotten over the hump. I thought the previous little patch was the worst of it. I think now we've just entered another layer of that. Just got to get it right in the right time. I saw some interesting quotes. Actually, I'm going to bring that up from Up the Baggers. He posted an article it was a reference to an article with David Butterfint, who was the very famous strength and conditioning guy at Collingwood. I actually reached out to him on LinkedIn about a week ago. I asked him to do an interview about this because I want to learn. He looked at it, left me on scene, but that's okay. So David Butterfield was talking about it, right? He said, it's very, no, hang on. Let me share my screen. Collingwood's trailblazing sports scientist expert David Butterfield believes Carlton still has time to arrest its dramatic injury crisis as he backed the club's bold decision to lift training loads over summer. Ambitions. Remarkably, the Blues are still 6-3 with their losses totaling 21 points, despite losing the most games to players in their side across the competition, 60. Have a look at this. So total matches lost to injury, we're sitting third there. Total matches lost to best 22. Now, this is subjective because it depends who you classify in the best 22. But apparently we lead it there. So these are the quotes. It's easy. It's very easy. This is from David Butterfield. It's very easy to be conservative. But when you are conservative, you don't push the boundaries of performance. I can understand Vossi thinking we have to get these guys fitter. We have to have a crack at doing that. But if you don't get the recipe right, it's consequential. The important thing now is to not panic. Now is not the time to panic and start rushing guys back. Take your medicine. A player might miss 3 to 4 weeks and even be on reduced minutes. You only get one good crack at it leading into finals. And if you don't get it right, you can jeopardize your campaign and you fall over. Usually when you get a spate of injuries, it's cause and effect because players are so finely tuned that if you increase their loads by more than 10%, their body can say, what is going on here? You put players on the precipice, especially ones predisposed to injury. Carlton wants to raise the bar and build enhanced performance, but sometimes there is a cost associated with that. Jared, we need to forget about the injuries and concentrate on who plays. Many teams have received many injuries and maybe the running can take toll in games. I'm just positive. Fair, mate. Mate, I believe. I'm a believer as well. I believe I think we can still win tomorrow. Is that crazy? I genuinely think we can still win tomorrow's game. Peter, after the Swans game, Motlop, Fogarty, and Sard could all be back for the Suns. Good point. Blues we will definitely win tomorrow, says the back flipper. Sorry, brick flipper. My bad. To be fair, I am a bit crazy. I am a little bit crazy. I'm not going to lie. Who has Sydney got out? Good question. Let's find out. I think I saw McCartan won't play. Do you guys want to watch? Oh no, I watched John Longmire's press conference. It's a tough watch. He's very down the line. Let's have a look at the injury list for Sydney. Hang on a minute. I'm pretty sure Tom McCartan's not playing. And I'm pretty sure I saw Luke Parker won't play. Pretty sure I saw that. So, of the guys that are in their best, I mean, Tom McCartan, no. Callum Mills is still out. By the way, if anybody is following along with my fantasy draft team, we picked up Callum Mills and put him on the waiver and just let him sit there for 4 to 5 or 6 weeks. So, there you go. Luke Parker still in the twos. McCartan still out. Yep. I think those are the two. I think those are the two main ones. Kane, you're not crazy. I think it's even better. We might have some unseen Blues in. They'll give the absolute all to try and stay on the side. Yeah. We do not see Chincotta. We do not even know who Chincotta is if Zach Williams doesn't get injured. That's the wild part. Parker is selected to play against Frankston. Okay. McCartan would definitely take Curnow. I think McCartan played on Curnow in the elimination final. Yeah. Do you guys remember the SCG game last year? I remember it clearly. We started well, moved the ball really well, just could not convert. Harry kicked 0 goals, 3 and 2 out on the full. Charlie kicked 1 goal, 3. And we were still kind of in a winning position potentially. He did. Yeah. He played well. He played very well. So Who are the Swans defenders then? Who they got? I want to go to last week. They'll have Rampy. They'll have Melican. Who else are they going to play on Harry and Charlie? Because they played Freo. Okay. And their backline was their backline last week. It was Francis, Rampy, Melican, Cunningham, Florent, Blakey, with Matt Roberts is a midfielder on the bench. Lloyd. Okay, Lloyd was the other defender. So that is where we can win the game. No doubt about it. So Blakey, actually, do you remember last year Blakey played a negating role on, was it Harry? Was it Harry or Charlie? Or was that the final? Maybe it was the final. I remember Blakey turning into a little bit of a one-on-one defender for a few quarters. Gazman, we need 16 wins for top 4. We have 6, 10 out of 14, thanks to our Crows loss. The equation is doable. That's interesting. Kane, you remember it was the first time you saw us move the ball really well in the first half. It felt like we'd started to make progress. I remember it. Yeah. Just could not kick straight. Yeah. Could both Charlie and Harry break Fred Fanning's record in the same game? Is that what you were saying? Please explain. Fred Fanning. What is the Fred Fanning record? Fred Fanning record. Who holds the record for most goals in a match with 18? Is that what you mean? I do think Charlie will play well tomorrow for what it's worth. Blakey kills the SCG. He'll be their tallest defender again. He will fly third up, but when it hits the ground, Charlie's hit again. Harry can't catch up. It's dangerous. Got to get our boys one out. Yeah. Okay, yeah. 16 or 18 in a game? Yeah, 18 in a game. Could happen. Swans, no defenders. Our forwards will both have a field day. A little bit sarcastic, but we can dream. I think if we don't dream, we cry. 8 minutes. Got 8 minutes until the teams come out. 7 more minutes. Just wait here patiently. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. The Swans are a very high-scoring. They're one of the high-scoring. They lead the league in points per game. I think this will be a classic game of the round. Scores in the 90s, potentially 85, 95. I think it'll be one of those games. Weather forecast. Let's have a look. Weather in Sydney Friday. 22. Perfect. Perfect conditions. Biffa Blue Bagger, do I think it's unfair that our strength and conditioning is being questioned for all of our soft tissue injuries? Surely it's just bad luck. I think there is a balance, and I think the balance is out of whack. I think the strength and conditioning department should absolutely be questioned. I think we've gone way too far into the sack him and then delist the players. I actually think some of the players need to take accountability for themselves as well. So I think there's a balancing act. But overall, I think let's just pause it and wait until something can actually happen, which is in October. That's what I think. Because right now it's just noise. It's just noise that's going to go nowhere because we can't do anything about it right now. Also, if we make the granny, if we win the flag this year, do we sack Russell? Is that what happens? Just curious. I really want to know the answer to that question. The number 1 for points, for and against. I think for us to have a chance, we don't want to shoot out. Yeah, you might be right. Evening turns out other teams in, mate. We are moments away. Well, we're minutes away. 5 minutes away from teams. Is anybody watching on TV right now? Can anybody give us a bit of an update as to when we can expect teams to come in? They'll definitely be in at 6:20. Otherwise, we just wait for somebody to let us know. Melinda Josephine, Marchbank and Williams in. Stop sacking people. Agreed. John Ralph has confirmed that Caleb Marchbank and Zach Williams are expected to be named for Carlton. Okay. Luke Parker and Matt Roberts won't play for the Swans. And that's from Josh Gabalik. Sorry. All right. Little bit of news filtering in. Marchbank and Williams are going to be in. I think Marchbank, Williams, and Binns, or Marchbank, Williams, and Fantasia will be the ins, and Hewitt gets elevated from the sub. Before the teams come in, hey guys, check this out. Our sponsor for the team show, Mr. Cabinets. Take a look. Guys, welcome to Mr. Cabinets. This is a third-generation family-owned business designing and building Melbourne's most dynamic kitchens and cabinetry. From planning to installation, Mr. Cabinets employs the latest 3D software to create your ideal kitchen or cabinet space. They've got a 2,000 square metre production facility that caters to any size home, multi-level apartment complex, and major development. If you'd like to see your dream kitchen before it's even built, visit Mr. Cabinets showroom at 172 Settlement Road, Thomastown. Boom. I've added some new sounds to the mix so we can use them. All right. Is this official, Damien? Is this from Channel 7? Yes, it is. Okay. I'll take your word for it. That's 3 minutes early. Williams, Marchbank, Fantasia, and Carroll in. Out, Chera, Cottrell, Martin, and Cowan. Okay. From 7 News. All right. We have early teams. 3 minutes early. Thank you so much, Damien. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that and getting that to us early. Marchbank, Williams, Fantasia, and Jack Carroll in. Out goes Chera, Cottrell, Martin, and Cowan. It's not that awful. It's not that bad. It's pretty experienced. It's pretty some experience is there, particularly with Williams and Marchbank. Fantasia, you can only assume they've gone with experience over youth. Binns will be playing in his second game. What's wrong with Fantasia, man? Yeah. I want to see where they've named him though, because I want to see who's going to be the sub. Wow. Carroll will be the sub. Fantasia is the right pick. Hopefully Fantasia will come out of his shell and surprise us. Well, I don't think he's going to play forward. I think he's going to have to play midfield. There you go. And in other news, Paddy Dow will debut for St Kilda. Where does Williams play? Well, find out any minute. So Cowan coming out, I'm going to guess, yeah, like I said earlier, I think that's where you bring in a Marchbank. That makes sense. And that's actually an improvement. No knock on Cowan, but Marchbank's right now a better player, more experienced player. So we're not losing anything there at all. Apov, 2021. Cowan will be rested. Yeah. Voss is pretty predictable. All those ins are plays he backs in ahead of the likes of Binns. Yeah. Could be why Fantasia played middle two last week. Absolutely. Yeah. He definitely played in the midfield. He's isn't it wild that we have, touch wood, Fantasia's body, we got it right. Got his body right. He just can't find form. It's unbelievable. We've got 8 defenders playing. Who are the 8? Well, Marchbank's in there. Well, I think they might do something creative with Williams. No. Teams should. Here we go. Teams are in. Hang on. They're official. I'm going to share my screen in a minute, and we can get straight into it. Oh, let's go. It's best time of the week. All right. Well, what's going on, mate?
Bruh.
What's going on with the link? You are kidding. Hang on. There we go. Four changes for Mangrook. There we go. Lockie Cowan has been omitted. Mark Pittinet has passed his fitness test and will front up. Massive. The Blues have named Boyd, Carroll, Durden, Fantasia, and Hewitt on the bench. Okay. Emergencies. Cowan, Binns, Lewis, Young. Let's have a look. Here are your teams. Here is your team. Kemp, Wiedering, Chincotta, Marchbank, McGovern, Newman. Great. Williams. That is a strong backline. I'm not too worried about that at all. Centerline, Zach Williams. There it is. There it is right there. Pommy was bang on. There you go. Zach Williams running down the wing. Cripps, Blake Acres. So half forward. So Ollie, there you go. That could be the Cottrell-ish role. DeConing a lot. Isn't it interesting how they've named the team like no fucking around this week? Forwards, Mackay, Kerno, Owies. Pito with Walsh and Kennedy. That's good to see. Kennedy on the ball. Interchange, Boyd, Carroll, Fantasia, Durden, and Hewitt. I got a feeling maybe Hewitt's going to be the sub again. Where's Akers? He's here, mate. Yeah. No way Hewitt is the sub again with Chera out. Maybe. He might be being managed, you know. They might be managing him. We'll just see. This team can win a game tomorrow. This team can absolutely win a game tomorrow. I have no doubt about it. We got stronger in the back line. Marchbank is an experienced player with a game under his belt. Comes in for Cowan. Williams, I mean, he's an experienced player. I like that if he plays this role, that means he's not going to have to take someone defensively like he has been. And that's creative. So that's a bit of an elevation there. Hollands is not Cottrell, but I think his running power is Cottrell. Who else? We got Fantasia. Okay, fair. Not in form in the AFL. But the other option was Binns. Okay. And then Jack Carroll. So these are probably the two that you're saying, okay, haven't been in the best form in the AFL. I want to look at Sydney's team. See if they've come out yet. All right. So Braden Campbell is in for Matt Roberts. Let's take a look. So their backline, Francis, Melican, Rampy, Florent, Blakey, Cunningham. So you think Melican will take Charlie and Blakey will take Harry or maybe Francis. Are there any Swans supporters here? Can you help us out with that? Goulden, Warner, McInerney. I mean, that's dangerous. McLean, McDonald, Adams, Haywood, Amadi, Papley. So if we go to our back line, what do you think the matchups will be? You think Wiedering goes there? You think McGovern goes there? I think Chincotta goes here. I think Marchbank will go here. Kemp will go here. and Newman will go here. That's how I think they'll play it. And I like those matchups. Then they've got Robbie Fox potentially as the sub, or Wicks, Jordan, Lloyd, Campbell. Mate. You think Gov and Weir to switch Gov on Amati? Okay. Mate, don't tell me we can't win this game tomorrow. Don't even dare. No umpires confirmed. Let me refresh. We've got Matthew Nichols, Simon Meredith, Andre Janfanga, and Martin Roger. Okay. We can win. We can win. We can absolutely win, mate. What do you mean? We can absolutely win this game tomorrow. Yeah. So, storylines. Give me a storyline from the game. Could be a win, could be a loss, but give me a storyline for the game tomorrow. The whole team will be top lineup. The whole team will be doing a bit. Yes, they will be doing a bit. They will. What have you got? Williams finds his feet for real. Do we unlock a new winger in Zach Williams and we find someone on the other wing? Zach Williams running and carrying and dashing and kicking the ball deep inside 50. It is not something that I think the Swans will have prepared as much for because they haven't seen it happen. But if that's the way it goes down, then it gives us a bit of a point of difference. Let's have a look. What have you guys got? Carl's Swans sink in Sydney. I like that. Swans will lose and media will say they were due for a loss. So will Carlton fans. Don't mind this. Marchbank kicks his first AFL goal. Cincotta kicks the winning goal after the siren. No, that's huge. Fantasia makes 99% of Carlton supporters eat their words by playing a blinder. I like it. Indiana. Cripps and Walsh for 85 possessions and 4 goals. Debbie. Blues beat Swans at their own game. Dione. Swan dive. Blues dance all over the Swans. Oh, the cat with 9 lives. Orazio takes his chance. Yeah. Yes, there is. I'm glad you reminded me. So I think every team that has played Fremantle this year has lost the week after. Does that include us? Yeah. Yeah, it does because we lost to Adelaide the week after. Looking forward to the watch along. Am I joining? No. I will not be joining the watch along. Oh, I might pop in. And say hello. But during the game, you won't see me. Durden kicks 4. Hayward or Papley kick a goal to win it for Sydney after the siren.
Bruh.
What do you mean? What's that about? Could see Williams taking what Doc does. No one's replaced that yet. Good call. Yeah, I'm hoping he's freed up a little bit too. Yeah, I'm hoping to see that from him. Storyline tomorrow. Carlton will win. Epic last quarter comeback. This game will be close, won't it? Yeah. I reckon it's Charlie for 10 goals and a win by 35. Withers also kicks a goal. Nick Liparota. McGovern pulls his hand. Like, imagine writing this. Like, imagine. Like, bro, are you okay? Like, who hurt you? Are you all right? Are you okay? Like, do you need a hug? I love you, man. What are you doing? Harry and Charlie go mental for 12 goals combined. Carlton surprise win by 36. Kerner to kick 8 goals. Walsh with 35 possessions. Cripps well held with 18. Akers doesn't get his out of bounds on the full. Is that the case with teams we have beaten? I'm not sure. Funny thing is, we got stronger in the back line, but if there's one weakness for Sydney, it's their forwards. Yeah. Akers and Gordon will be huge. Yep, massive. Absolutely massive. Or do you just put Zach Williams on him? I should be subbing in for the watch along given Pommy's injury. Okay, so he's told you about the injury? Oh, this is going to get a run a lot.
Bruh.
A lot. There's a few others that I like. Fan cams is going to get totally upgraded with some of these sounds. Cardiac Carlton, do it again. Brother, are you okay? Oh, yeah, I mean, Nick, come on. Come on. John Holden, hello, mate. You're driving up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. How good's that? Drive safely. Get there well. Play all the soundtracks at the same time. I've got a few. Some of them are a bit annoying. I mean, I've got like a little... Got this one. And then...
Bruh.
Yeah. Blues break their SCG hoodoo. Hope so. Hope so. All right. Let's look to wrap up. Any other questions? Soundboards are a big pet peeve. Scott, mate, you know, when you got to find a way to enjoy these streams. So that's why I add them. Do I have a sentiment? Doink. Nah, I don't. I can add it. Oh, you want the trumpet? Nah, the trumpet's got to come out at the right time. Carlton's romantic victory, undeniably underestimated, undisputed injury list, still beat the Swans in their nest. Mate, we win tomorrow. Expect there to be a reaction. Expect there to be some trumpet. Whoops. All right. You know what? I did that by accident. Let's go with, what's the right sound there? The right sound there is... Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going out of control. What about the teams? The teams, let's go one more time. Show you the teams one more time before we wrap up. Where have you been? What do you mean, where are the teams? Where were you? 6:20 on the clock. We'll put them up. What's the ball in the corner? This is Mr. Cabinets. This is our sponsor for the teams. This is it. Final teams are right here. Marchbank, Williams, Carroll, Fantasia in. Martin, Chera, Cottrell injured, Cowan omitted. There's your teams. No problem, mate. That's all right. There you go. There are your teams. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Don't panic. What is my prediction? Blues by 2. Blues by 2. Charlie kicks 5. Harry kicks 4. And we are lauding how much ticker this group has, but we'll see. This one's going to be a tough one. You don't see bins. You don't see bins. No, you don't. You don't see bins. Paul, have I met a great woman? Yeah, met many great women. Met many great women. What have you guys got? 16, 17. All right. That's that. See you guys. Go Blues.